All right, everybody, welcome back to the BlackGold Homestead. We've been very busy here, so sorry for the delay in uploading, but I think we'll just show you around so y'all can see what we have going on. We'll go in the back around this lean-to instead of walking through there because it's muddy, but I'll show you some of the chickens. We're getting good egg production. We still have all of our goats. We have 7 females and our 1 male still. I have not bred the goats in a few years now. Because the market for selling the baby goats in our area has gone down. I still breed and sell chickens, guineas, pheasants, quail, turkeys, the different birds. They are the most profitable on the homestead and they pay the feed bills. But the goats have not been, so I'm not breeding the goats anymore. A lot of the females, except for a few, they are starting to get older anyways. I'm not breeding them, but we still have them here. We have our female pigs still. We do not have the male or any of the piglets. We just have the female, and we have our donkey and sheep still. They're the pasture patrol. But as far as raising animals go, we still have the rabbits and we raise the birds. We have a bunch of young hens running loose. They are all hens that I hatched last year from my different breeding pens. We got black Australorp, black Langshans, blue and black Americanas, and some mixes. Oh, and a few Rhode Island Reds. And they're laying really well. Anyways, we're here in the old barn. Here's some of our bantams we still have for breeding. They're Saramas, and they're laying. They got some eggs back in the corner. But Jane is the golden color one, and I have a video on the channel when she hatched, and she's not been doing so great. She's starting to get swelling in her abdomen, so I'm not sure what will happen with her down the road. But these are the Saramas, and I have another pen of them, and we've hatched a handful of chicks off of them this year, but not as many as we have in the past. And next to them there is a pair of golden sea brights, and up on the roost is a buff sea bright. But one of the signs of spring is we're getting plenty of eggs. I got some eggs I already collected in this container right here, and you can see we're getting a nice variety of different color eggs. And here's a nest, just an old rabbit nest box I have, and you can see that there's lots of eggs in there too, all from today. So we're getting plenty of eggs. Somewhere on the channel, I think we have a video of the lean-to construction off of the barn, which here is the lean-to. What we use this end of the lean-to for is feeding hay to our big animals. We take the hay out of the barn and we put it in the lean-to for feeding them. And I know this video is kind of sporadic, but it's just been a while since we've uploaded. So we're going to try to film some different things and show you a little bit of everything. I got my mineral blocks here. I also sometimes feed a loose mineral to the animals, but I usually just keep a mineral block available for them. And on this end... Alright guys, in this little clip here, you'll see the pheasants. The first pen that's being filmed right now is Swinho pheasants, native to Taiwan. And in this next pen over, there are some Abyssinian blue ringneck pheasants down on the ground and some melanistic mutant pheasants that are up on the roost. The male melanistic mutant is down here in the corner. And there's also a pair of chickens in with them. We got big hens and roosters in this pen with some guineas. And they're all laying pretty good right now. Both the guineas and the chickens are laying. The guineas did start early this season. And in the chicken house, we got some chickens and a couple of chicks up in the top cage. And then on an old video, you'll see, if you have been watching for a while, we used to have some pheasants over here, but now it's just a few more guineas, some pigeons, and some wild turkeys. So next I think we'll go in the barn and I'll show you all I don't know if we made a video filming when we put hay in the barn last year, but we do have an old video when we were first building this barn of putting hay in here. And what I had in here was 12 bales, and I'm down to 6, just under 7, counting this one we broke into. I had hay all the way over to the door here, and anyways, I had hay over just to the doorway here. So what we do is we open up our hay in the barn and we dump it out the window or the doorway, which is where the lean-to is. So that's how we do our hay. It works very good because everything's right here and we take it right out and it cuts down on chores and work. We also take some of the hay out into the old run-in barn out back when need be, and it's just a short walk over there to do that. But that's what we have left for hay. We do choose to use the round bales because we have a tractor that we can use to move them, and it's what's locally available. And instead of putting a whole round bale out for the animals and to minimize waste, we open up individual bales and feed them that way. I have some extra food storage here. Feed for the animals. And now I think we're going to walk over towards the garden and the trees, and I'll just show you some of the plants and flowers that are blooming. Real quick though, this is our male goat Biscuit, and he's in this old corral pen, which part of the fence got taken down and moved. Did you feed Biscuit though? Part of the corral got taken down and moved when we built this barn, but as you can see, part of it's still standing, and I use these hog panels or cattle panels, whatever they are, to put up his fence here. And he has a section that goes right into the barn so he can get out of the weather. If it's blowing weather and it's blowing wind and rain, I'll put him in the stall in the old barn though for the night, just because it is open on the corner. But now we'll go over and look at some of the this pen is our peacock and peahen. We just have the white one now. And there's a couple pigeons in here and a bunch of mainly bantam hens that were all hatched last fall and will be available for sale this spring. They are all laying, but you'll also see that there's a few roosters in here and a couple large breed hens as well. But these birds are all available if you're in the area and anyone's looking for some bantam chickens. And then, of course, right next to it is the garden, which I started plowing up. I only made one pass over this half of the garden. There's a back half as well. And I need to be making a second pass over it to break it up. This is early for us here in Pennsylvania to be plowing, But thus far, it's been a warm spring. The ground is a little wet, which means that it's a little clumpy, but overall, it's breaking up and it's not too bad. I'll show you the plow real quick. This is the plow I use. And this was actually my great-grandfather's plow. And it's a double blade plow and it has 2 discs on it. And then after I plow, I'll make a few passes with the plow over the garden. And like I said, I'm just doing this one side of the garden for now. I'll do the back part later. But after I go plow it a few times, I then disc over it to break any clods up. And that's the disc I use. We also have a tiller, but it's not in working condition right now, so the past 2 years I've been doing this, and it works just as good. That pretty much sums up most of Homestead. We do have some trees blooming. Here is a peach tree that's only about 3 years old. They are once again blooming early, and unfortunately we are due to get 2 days of freezing temperatures later in the week, so we may forfeit some of the fruit. But this peach tree has grown tremendously in the past 3 years, and it was planted in chicken manure and mulched heavily with wood chips. It is doing quite well. First year I watered it, and now it's rooted in and doesn't need any supplemental water. Here is one of our apple trees we planted at the same time as the peach tree, and as you can see, it is much smaller. It is over probably pushing 8 foot now though, but here's another one. These are Macintosh apples, and they are actually the only 2 apple trees that we'll have other than a Whitney crab apple. Which Whitneys are the golf ball sized yellow crab apples that you can can and make candy apples out of. This is a pear tree. And over here are some older peach trees, and they're also blooming pretty well. Very gnarled and crooked though from years of the wind blowing on them and not having proper staking. They were staked at one time, but they outgrew the stakes and now they're kind of crooked. Both of our plum trees are blooming on the other side, and the nectarine tree is about to bloom. Unfortunately, the plum trees are getting a type of canker, so we're gonna have to cut a lot of that out. But now we'll go up and look at some of the flowers by the house. Right now we've got daffodils and hyacinths blooming. We did have some crocuses blooming, but they've finished up already, or are near finishing. And we got some, I believe they're called Yushanka, which is a Russian bulb, blooming as well. But there's lots of stuff starting to come up. Irises, of course, like I said, crocuses. Those are yellow hyacinths. Over here are the blue Yushanka. I believe they're called Yushanka. And if not, I can put it down in the description below what they are. Old lavender plants there. Starting to get a little bit of new growth, and some more daffodils behind them. Some clumps of daffodils back in the background. Daffodils and some more hyacinths. We also have Virginia bluebells, which are a local wild native, coming up. No buds yet, but you can see a little bit of growth on them. Periwinkle blooming, that's our ground cover. And this spot in the summer comes up with coneflowers. Once the periwinkle's done. More daffodils. And right down in front of you is another Virginia bluebell, and that one actually is starting to get a couple little buds starting. So that's pretty much all for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed seeing some of the updates and what's going on, and we will try to make some more regular content as we can. And thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.